Hello, everybody. It's Sandra Pelle da Sandini, Inner Dragon Bridge, as well as a Galactic Shaman. And I am excited to bring you Haley Steinhardt. She is part of our summit this year, the All About Woo Summit in September. And I'm just going to give you a quick little synopsis of who she is, and she'll expand a little bit on that. And then we'll do some fun questions. So, Haley, this beautiful soul, is a spiritual mentor and a board member at A Place of Light, which is an intuitive learning community center in Massachusetts. So please expand just a little bit on that, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I've spent my life doing intuitive work just based on my experience as an intuitive person in the world. And now I serve others in the capacity of a caretaker of a place of light, and also doing work one-on-one spiritual consulting and intuitive growth education.
Wow. I'm just a buzz. I can feel the energy of that. That feels like a very powerful um, how you've aligned yourself. Like there's no, how do I want to say this? Um, I feel the ease with which you are in that role.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot to me.
Yeah. 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 Let's jump into the questions.
Ooh, a spinning wheel. This is fun.
No way. Until you hear the question, right? It's fun until.
And then I'm going to be stopped. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you got the toughie. When I was putting these in here, I was like, oh, that's going to be an interesting one to answer. So, Haley, if your emotions were a weather pattern, what's the forecast today?
Well, I hope your audience loves honest because, you know, all of us experience ups and downs in life. That's just part of life. And today's forecast is I'm feeling a bit more grounded than I was the past couple of days, but it's been a challenging bit in my personal world recently. And that's what's so important about this work to me is I think it's natural for all of us, and we're all our own toughest critics. But when we feel blown off course or when we feel unmoored, it's so easy to go like where are my tools? Why am I just not immune to what's going on around me right now? And it's not about being immune to it. It's about experiencing it and letting it pass through us and just going back to the breath, going back to that grounded place as life happens. That's just a part of things. So a little stormy around here recently, but today's feeling a little bit better, and I'm really grateful for that. So thank you
Wow.
for the question.
Yeah, a great question. And I love your answer, and I can definitely relate. There's a lot going on in my world too. In fact, I've told a lot of my audience that over the next 2 years, there's a lot of shifting happening in my world. Come along for the ride.
Yeah,
Because you learn, that's when you learn the most is when you are recognizing those I love that, the stormy patterns, the grounded energy. You learn a lot when you're in the middle of it and you choose to pay attention to it.
absolutely. Big learning happening. So
Mm,
yeah.
great. The second question.
Ooh, ooh.
So, Haley, if your body starred in a commercial, what would it be selling?
These are such great questions.
Way out of the box,
I
right?
love this. This is so much fun. Well, you can't tell from this video, but I'm almost 6 feet tall. I'm a big and tall person in the world, and so I would say my body would be selling something to do with you know um, a practice or a product or a service that it is all about just owning who you are, showing up as yourself in the world, even on the days where you want to shrink down and be like, why don't I fit in? You just walking out and owning your stuff anyway. And so that's been the story of part of what my body has brought to me as a lesson in this life. And if there's a product that exists for that, I suppose that's what I would represent.
Wow, I feel so much energy with that. It's that really the words that came through to me when you mentioned your height was the standing out and being seen in a way that like and I'm going to go dot 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 because I
Yeah.
think every person needs to figure out what they're and in the way of. Very, very much so. I love how you answered that. It just felt so empowering. And I hope that those who are listening really can hear what that is and claim whatever, however they show up. And it doesn't have to be about height. It doesn't have to be about weight. It doesn't have to be about anything. I got on one of these calls this morning, and the first thing the person said to me was, "Hi, Smiley." And it's like I can
Love
when
that.
I saw the question being asked of you, I could feel the energy of that, that's what it is for me. It's that my body is a smile, right?
I love that. I love that. And I love what you said about each person has their own piece that represents standing in truth for them. And nobody knows that but you, what yours is. What does that mean, standing in truth for you, standing up for you and being you? So I love the way you put that.
I want to put lots of hearts now. The next question.
Mm,
So, what experience first awakened your realization of the possibilities with spirit? Now, I'll tell you, when I first had this question, when I first looked at it, the
yeah.
wording was slightly different, and it
I,
said like your awakening with spirit or your first connection to spirit. And I thought, a lot of people may not recognize that moment, but they
right.
definitely recognize the moment when the possibilities were there. So, what experience first awakened your realization of the possibilities with spirit?
Again, I'm just going to say this each time. What a great question. um, I feel like there are a couple ways to answer that, and I won't go too far down all the rabbit holes at once. But I think we could, I could say like, oh, what's my, moment in childhood where I realized, something felt different. But I think the way I want to answer it is to say, you know, the piece about my personal awakening into possibility of spirit is what I'm really taking away from that question. And for me, that was after becoming a new mother and realizing that I, once again, just after much of my life spent shutting down and shutting off these intuitive parts of myself because they weren't convenient in the moment, or they didn't feel safe for me at that time, I was at a point in life where I wanted it all back. I wanted everything open again within myself. It was like, I'm ready. and so I started seeking and seeking. But the moment of my realization of possibility was really in the space of, let's say, a few weeks' time. A few of these different avenues I went down, separate individuals who didn't know each other, in one way or another, said the exact same sentence to me. Like, I think it was three different people said, "Stop trying so hard, you're getting in your own way." And it was like, that for me was the realization, is that we never have to clamor for what's already ours, what's already inside of us. And if anyone listening, like me, has had periods in life where you have shut down parts of yourself for whatever those reasons are, um, it's okay to nurture them back in. It's not a light switch. It's not like, okay, boop. And so realizing that I could allow instead of um, control. And that was an aha moment for me, as someone who most of my life has very much, in childhood anyway, taught me like, oh, control equals safety. If I can just shape this way and I do this way, I'm safe. Well, that's not what this is at all. If when we allow, um, we really can align ourselves with our true selves, and with that sense of knowing and safety and love that comes with that, which ties a lot into the topic I'm talking about this year, as far as navigating fear. So that's just a little snapshot. But
I want to keep saying that's so powerful to every answer that you've got here. This is really a very, very important piece. We're actually, I haven't really kind of alluded to this as of yet with any of the guest speakers. However, this is very much the spiritual aspect that we're talking about right now. And the way you answered that question has literally opened up doors and windows for people to breathe fresh air and just really start to come home to themselves. I could really feel the emotion of that.
Good.
And yet my experience was so entirely different.
Hmm.
Is it okay if I share my experience with
Of
you?
course, I would love to hear your experience.
Okay, so in essence, I was convalescing from a broken pelvis, and I was out on my green grass in my backyard on crutches, bare feet in the grass, and it was just one of those moments, breathing in the fresh air, blue sky, recognizing the leaves, the grass, the feel, etc. Very, very tactile, right? And in that, I chose to step into the energy of my main mantra. And I'm going to breathe through the first few lines with you right now, okay? So it goes, I am open
Hmm.
with no expectations and no limitations. In that moment, I had been breathing my way through that for probably 9 months by that time. I felt the physical shift into understanding what no expectations and no limitations actually was for myself. And that is when the possibilities of spirit, that like I said, the doors and windows flew open, right?
Yeah. What a powerful mantra. And I can't help but say, when you said 9 months, you gave birth to that experience. So that like literally just stated within you while you sat with that and it unfolded in exactly its right time. So wow. Wow. I'm going to sit with that mantra some more. I like that a lot.
It's one of my go-tos. It's actually the main basis of everything. It's why I am who I am today. It
Wow.
truly is. It's the first mantra that I really understood and stepped into the energy of. So,
Mm,
and I wanted to share that because I really wanted people to see that there is that what you said about stop trying so hard and get out of your own way.
mm,
Wow, right? And in essence, that is probably what exactly I did while I was standing there. I got out of my own way, right?
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Powerfully so. The piece about no expectations is so huge because sometimes, I would say often, as part of the human experience, we all um, dance with that feeling of like, oh, there's something missing. I need to know this, learn this, be this, experience this. And what if that's not the case at all? What if you're perfect as you are and you open and allow and you take those expectations away and you're just ready to receive and experience as you are? Then we grow in exactly the ways we're supposed to. So
yeah.
I love how our two experiences tied together. That's beautiful.
Exactly. And I really want to express to everybody listening to that whether you're catching this full piece or whether this is just a piece, it is so important to recognize that that's what this last year has really been about for humans, for mankind, is to just kind of recognize and let go and be in a very powerful manner.
Mm.
Yeah. Are you ready for the last question?
Let's do it. Oh my.
Well, and let me do a little preamble to this. I'm going to stop the share for, yeah, well, no, maybe I'll say the question first. I'll say the question. If you had to describe yourself using three emojis, which would you choose? So I just want to say that I did a post recently where I asked people to share what their first emoji was that comes up on their phone into the comments, right? Because that was a description of their life. And it's the this post is getting so much traction because people are like really starting to recognize what is going on in their life because of recognizing what that first emoji is. So after you hear Haley's answer, I invite each of you to go see what your first emoji is as well. So let me say the question again for you so it's top and center. Haley, if you had to describe yourself using three emojis, which would you choose?
Okay, so as you were asking and then sharing a little bit about that, I was sitting there thinking, what are the three that I most often use? which I
Oh,
think is
your
a
phone don't look.
fair. Oh, you know what? I didn't look, but I bet you I can tell you what they are. I use the light blue heart a lot because it's about matches the color of your shirt because that is feels like my color. I use sort of a pink blossom, like a flower, sometimes instead of a heart. And there's the little sparkle emoji with it. It's just like a few little sparkles. And those are probably the three I use absolutely the most often, other than, maybe laughter. There's all the different laughter emojis. So,
I could feel the essence of them. Would you like to expand on what they mean now that you've been asked to describe your life with them?
so, in other words, like, why do I choose them like that?
No, if all you ha we're meeting an alien or somebody we don't know, and all you
Okay.
could do was something that symbolized who you were, and you have no language to communicate in except these emojis. So what does that little pale blue heart mean? What does that like each of those symbols mean, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's um, a lot is communicated with color. I think that um, my whole life I've very much resonated with this just very certain bright blues, like sort of that sort of teal kind of blue and different shades of it. And um, to me, it's what's a good word to describe it? It's almost like warm curiosity. It's you know it's inclusive, and it's not always particularly grounded. I have to work on that one. But it's just a heart-centered energy that embodies, curiosity and warmth and learning to me.
I feel the power of that.
Yeah.
So you said a pale pink flower, was that the next one?
Yeah, there's like a little pink blossom, and I've been using that newly a lot recently. And I associate that pale pink with the energy of loving kindness. And um, that's probably my most frequent go to meditation if I'm laying in bed or having a tough moment or anything. Is just filling the space, filling my home, filling the land, filling the post office, filling the grocery store with loving kindness. And it's just that pale pink energy. So that's what that represents to me. And then the sparkle, I believe life is magic, and I love science as well, and um, I get very curious and excited about the ways in which science and the magic of life really match up a lot more than some people leave space to allow. um, so I think life is magic. I think nature is magic. I think our experience here in the world, being alive, is magic, and so that's what that means to me.
I am so appreciative of, first of all, getting to know you and, your description of that. Uh, I can just feel the energy of how in alignment your and my mission or path or journey through life truly is. Like we're like, wow, wow. I'm very grateful you're in my life.
Mhm. Beautiful. I'm so glad we got to connect. This is great.
Yeah, yeah. So everybody, this is Haley. Thank you so much for being here. Check her space and time in navigating fear. Navigating fear. What a beautiful topic to have in the summit, the All About Woo Summit in September, the first week of September, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Thank you so much, Haley.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to it.